The idea that the dead might speak to the living is as old as human consciousness itself, a whispering thread woven through the tapestry of cultures, religions, and personal experiences. Across millennia, voices from beyond the grave have beckoned seekers and skeptics alike, promising connection with those who have slipped beyond the veil. Yet, the question persists in its stubborn complexity: can the dead truly communicate with us, or are these messages merely echoes of human yearning, imagination, or deception? This mystery navigates a shadowy boundary where faith, psychology, and the inexplicable intertwine, inviting us to reconsider the very nature of life, death, and consciousness. The phenomenon of mediumship, the practice of purportedly channeling messages from the deceased, has captivated civilizations across continents. From shamans and oracles to Victorian spiritualists, individuals claiming to serve as conduits between worlds have emerged repeatedly, asserting that death is not a definitive end but a doorway to ongoing dialogue. These mediums often describe their experiences as an involuntary reception of voices, visions, or impressions, sometimes accompanied by physical manifestations or uncanny knowledge inaccessible to ordinary senses. In moments of grief, such communications offer solace, hope, or guidance, suggesting that the bonds forged in life persist beyond physical separation. Skeptics, however, caution that mediumship is fraught with psychological pitfalls, social dynamics, and outright fraud. The human mind is adept at pattern recognition, even where none exists, conjuring meaningful shapes from randomness, a phenomenon known as pareidolia. In moments of emotional vulnerability, confirmation bias encourages selective attention to statements that fit, while discarding contradictory information. Techniques like cold reading exploit these tendencies, enabling skilled performers to create the illusion of supernatural insight through subtle cues and generalities. Historically, many mediums have been exposed as charlatans, employing tricks and sleight of hand to deceive grieving families and curious onlookers alike. Yet, dismissing all such experiences as illusion overlooks the persistence and profundity of certain cases. Across diverse cultures and times, consistent themes emerge, messages that convey specific, verifiable information unknown to the medium, or experiences described by multiple independent witnesses under controlled conditions. Some psychical researchers and parapsychologists have dedicated lifetimes to rigorous investigation, seeking empirical evidence that might bridge the chasm between life and death. Though mainstream science remains largely unconvinced, pockets of curiosity and open inquiry persist, fueled by an insatiable human need to understand what, if anything, lies beyond mortality. The enigma deepens when one considers the nature of consciousness itself. If the mind is reducible purely to brain activity, then communication with the dead would seem impossible, for the brain ceases to function at death. Yet, certain near-death experiences, spontaneous post-mortem apparitions, and mediumistic phenomena challenge this reductionism. Could consciousness, in some form, survive the collapse of neural systems, existing as a non-local or transcendent phenomenon? Quantum theories of consciousness, though controversial and speculative, propose that awareness might not be confined to the physical brain, opening conceptual space for interactions across dimensions or states of being. In addition, cultural contexts shape how these encounters are understood and interpreted. In many indigenous and traditional societies, the living maintain active relationships with ancestors through ritual, dreams, and spiritual practices, viewing death not as an end but a transition into a different mode of existence. These encounters are woven into social and moral fabrics, guiding decision-making, identity, and community cohesion. In such frameworks, mediums are not charlatans but respected intermediaries, their voices part of a shared cosmology that transcends Western skepticism. Yet, even within scientific and philosophical frameworks, the limits of human knowledge compel humility. The absence of definitive proof is not proof of absence. The boundaries of perception and measurement might conceal phenomena still beyond our grasp. The dead speaking to the living might belong to a realm where conventional epistemology falters, where mystery and meaning intertwine in ways science is only beginning to fathom. It is in this space, between certainty and doubt, belief and disbelief, that the question endures, evoking wonder and fear in equal measure. Perhaps what the dead say to us is less about literal communication and more about what we project onto their silence, the echoes of love, loss, hope, and memory that define human existence. The voices from beyond may be as much a reflection of our own inner landscapes as a message from another realm. A mirror in which we confront the impermanence and profundity of life. In this interplay of absence and presence, the mystery of mediumship reveals something fundamental, that the boundary between the living and the dead is not a line, but a threshold, shimmering with possibilities that defy easy explanation. In the end, whether the dead can speak to us remains an open question, an invitation to explore the depths of consciousness, the limits of science, and the vastness of human experience. It is a question that transcends disciplines, cultures, and beliefs, a timeless riddle that beckons us to listen closely, not only to what is said, but to the silence that surrounds it, where the unknown waits patiently to be heard.